TVR Tour package weekend of the season. This is the feature race grid coming together for the Findus TVR Challenge. Steve Guglielmi on pole position by virtue of having won the first race, which he started from third on the grid. Troy Dunlop will be second. He qualified second and held that in the qualifying race. And Richard Finney was behind him in that race. It was his car, in fact, that Mando borrowed to start the programme from. Andy Britnell will be fourth. He was from the qualifying grid and picked up a few places in the early race. So there are the top four on our way for the lights. Engines rev, tension mounts, away they go, and a nice clean start from to the drivers. A little bit of rubbing between a few of the cars further back. We're on board with Richard Finney, and not a good start from Finney. A problem for him immediately. Looks like he missed a gear there, and he was passed by several cars, two on the left and one between him and the pit wall. Well, he seems to have got his speed back again. Repassing TVR media boss Ben Samuelson, spots a water on the camera lens as Steve Guglielmi leads from Andy Britnell from fourth on the grid, then Troy Dunlop, then Colin Stankham, and over at the back there, the blue and yellow car, that's David Thomas, unlucky number 13. He'll be out of there in a hurry. Guglielmi leading to Abbey, Britnell in second place. Troy Dunlop looks to the inside in the rhubarb and custard coloured number 4 machine. Doesn't make the move there. Riding on board with teenager Andrew Delahunty down to Abbey. Somebody's gone off. John Hartshorn is the car right in front of him. And somebody's slowing there as well. That was Ben Samuelson in the TVR press car. Well, that was Derek Tyndall's car there, rejoining and showering gravel, so that must have been him going straight on at Abbey. Top four in Brooklands, Britnell, Dunlop, Stanton very close behind the number 4 machine now. Second, third and fourth places. Steve Cole leading the next little group of 5 or 6 cars, including our cameraman Richard Finney. Now Troy Dunlop shaping up to make the move here for second place. Looks to the inside nice and early, going down to Cops. He's got to brake late and then turn in very shallow. He'll need all the road on the exit. Nice slide, well controlled. That's a copybook Dunlop move there. And the yellow flags are out, so they are slowing down. Andrew Delahunty in the middle of traffic. Hartshorn passing Gareth Evans. And Delahunty goes past too. Now they'll get to the yellow flags. Hands out of the cockpit from John Hartshorn, showing that he is slowing down. At Ireland, it is free, and they can overtake once more. Guglielmi leading. Troy Dunlop next up, riding once more with Richard Finney, the number 7 machine ahead. That's Darren Dowling. Good run out of the island bends. Finney gets alongside. He's got the inside line here, but Dowling can come back as they get into Abbey, and Richard Finney goes in very late indeed. Experienced Porsche racer, came to TVR's last year, and he knows how to avoid contact. Makes very clean racing moves. Well, Dowling held on there, didn't he? Further back, this is Steve Cole, 5th place. He's got Giles Cooper, but not behind him at all, down the inside, far too fast, and somehow he held that together, and actually I'm not quite sure how. I think he'll need to see a replay to find out as well. On board with our leader then, Steve Guglielmi, out of the long right-hander at Luffield, flicks up by the plastic markers on the inside, and accelerating across the start-finish line. Troy Dunlop in number 4 getting closer behind him. Andy Britnell still in 3rd, Richard Stanton still in 4th, and Steve Cole still in 5th after that lunge by Giles Cooper. Still waved yellows further round, so no overtaking now until they get out of Beckett's and into the island bends. And a bit of a slide there from the race leader. Got in a little too fast, and that will give Dunlop another couple of feet. Now these two in 3rd and 4th getting very close as well. Andy Britnell with the bright yellow stripes under pressure now. Stanton setting himself up. He's going to go across his nose. Good move indeed by Richard Stanton. I was going to say he's going to have to go wide around the outside at Abbey, but he got it started early enough. And Steve Guglielmi riding the curbs hard, maybe in trouble from Troy Dunlop. Stanton under pressure as well, and look at this, Guglielmi really fighting a rearguard action to hold on to his lead. All over the curbs exiting Abbey, he was slow, and Dunlop's right with him. And more timers back at Abbey. Everybody is having a go, it seems. 27 there is young Andrew Delahunty, chasing John Hartshorn still. Hartshorn takes the inside line. Delahunty's got a good run at him through bridge, and he's shaping up to make a move. Down the inside we go, onto the brakes now, changing down and safely through. Oh, and there's Hartshorn's teammate off, that's Richard Stanton, just one corner further ahead. Identical red and white machines, and Stanton drops the car off the road. He was in that battle for third place, don't forget. Here's Steve Cole now, number 3, under pressure from slow-starting Richard Finney. Finney's looking very aggressive here, trying to go down the inside into Cole. Oh, collision! They've touched and they're both off! And Steve Cole hits the retaining wall very hard. Richard Finney also smites it a blow, but Steve Cole went in at full speed. And he's opened the door, he looks to be okay, and that's a very good sign indeed. Well, Steve Guglielmi still under pressure from Troy Dunlop. And there'll be yellow flags out here, definitely at Cops the next time round. Cole looks to be well shaken up after that impact. That's got to be one of the biggest he's had in TVRs. Ben Samuelson comes in, his car not running cleanly it seems. And Andrew Delahunty further back in traffic, yellow flags are out and somebody's going off right in front of him. That was Chris Randall. He was on the dirty line going into Beckett's there. Well, let's ride on board with Richard Finney. Replay of that incident. Steve Cole alongside us. Let's just listen. Just as they touched the brakes, the two of them, contact was made, and the cars fly instantly out of control and into the wall. And from the onboard, Steve Cole's crash looked even more severe than before. Well, Guglielmi then leading, and still Troy Dunlop all over the back of him. And look at the big stripes that Dunlop leaves there, really standing on the power. Delahunty now attacking Phil James through the Ireland bends. Phil James in 6th position, and Delahunty blows by him. The teenager really taking to this TVR Tuscan lark. Superb stuff. Locks a wheel going into Abbey, but no danger done. He got the move made nice and cleanly, and he continues. Young Andrew Delahunty really has turned his hand to successful racing in a number of categories in the family's Porsche 968 Club Sport. He's raced in production saloons and has really taken to these TVR Tuscans. There is Gary Britnell recovering from a spin. His car the same colour as his brother Andy's. Andy is in 3rd place, some 8 seconds down on the lead battle. And Gary gets back on track just ahead of the white car of Gareth Evans. But Troy Dunlop still looking for the lead. Coming out of Priory into Brooklands, he gets alongside. Now he'll have the outside line at Luffield. It'll be very hard to get the power on there, so he has to drop back. Now let's see what he can do. Onto the start-finish straight they'll come, and this will be a drag race down to Cops. And if the yellow flags are still out there, he won't be able to take advantage. Let's wait and see what he can do. He's looking to pull out. No, he dives back in again. Not close enough that time. Half a second and less between them at the line that time round. Absolutely nothing to choose between them. And there is the blue and yellow car of David Thomas creeping back to the pits. Whatever put him in the gravel, he seems to have been able to get himself back out. That's taken some time, hasn't it? Oh, and Giles Cooper off again. Just manages to escape the gravel traps. Don't forget we saw him making a lunge down the inside early on. Well, he had got up to 4th. He recovers, he's in 5th place. Andrew Delahunty is next up in 6th spot, but he's some 10 seconds behind. This is David Porter recovering from a harmless spin, and this is the battle for the race lead. Troy Dunlop wide into Beckett's, trying to go wheel to wheel with Steve Guglielmi through Ireland. Fantastic stuff from Dunlop. Guglielmi really holding off under this extreme pressure. The last lap, 3 or 4 potential passing places left to go. The smoky Derek Tyndall's car hopefully won't get in their way or drop oil at Abbey. Guglielmi still got it. He won the qualification race. Can he win the main feature as well? Or can Troy Dunlop pull one off through Bridge or into the complex? Tyndall may be a feature in the race to the line. At the moment, he's not. Guglielmi leads through Bridge into Priory. He's got the line. He's got the braking area all to himself. But Troy Dunlop is all over the back of him. And he could still make a move here into Brooklands. And Tyndall's out of the way. No trouble for Guglielmi. And I don't think there's a chance for a drive out of Luffield. Troy Dunlop will give everything he can on the exit, but it's not enough. Guglielmi has the hammer down faster, and the winner of the qualification race wins the first major of the championship. He wins the feature at Silverstone. He'll be delighted with that. Troy Dunlop equally should be delighted with his race. The two of them just 36 100ths of a second apart at the line, but over 18 seconds clear of third place Andy Britnell. And Guglielmi is the points leader as well, 33 for winning the qualification race, 66 for the feature, and with 12 more race weekends to go,